Hi, welcome to episode 102 of the PassionKnit Spinner podcast. Can't even say the name. Great. So, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. There is a Ravelry group for the podcast. Please come over, join. Show me all of your Tour de Fleece plans because I'm, very interested in it. And like I said before, thank you so much for being here. I have a lot of things to show to you today, and it's been another 2 weeks, so of course there's lots of stuff to show. If I finally get back to a weekly schedule, things will just go, but yeah, it's not going to happen. So first off, what I'm wearing is also my knitting in the past. I finished my glittery cropped stripy sweater. I did not bring the tags for the yarn because you can't get it anymore. The dyer of this yarn stopped dyeing, I think, like 4 or 5 years ago. So I didn't bother. The yarn is handgefärbt. She was one of the first hand dyers in Germany, I think. So let me show it to you. So this is what it looks like. That's the full thing. If I stand up, you can see the bottom. So this goes over the top band of my Holly Barn skirt. That's the Holly Barn skirt that I'm wearing with it. And I just think it turned out great. I really, really like it. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I wanted to have a bit of a sleeve, so I got a bit of a sleeve. And I used up all of the yarn that I had. So 2 skeins, finished sweater, very cropped, but perfect for wearing with a Holly Barn skirt. So I'm super happy with it. I used my own made up mishi-mashi pattern. I used the Flex Light by Tinker Knits and the Ravello by Isabel Krämer and did a mishmash pattern for myself out of these two. So what I did for this pattern is I used the short row shaping for the neckline from the Ravello and almost everything else from the Flex Light. So if you want to do your own fingering weight pattern, just the generic one, that's in my opinion, that's a very good mix because I do like the short row shaping for the neck that the Ravello has, and the Flex Light doesn't have any shaping, so that's just not so comfortable for me. I knit all the ribbing on a US 2 and all the rest of it on a US 5. That's 2.75 millimeters for the rib and 3.75 millimeters for the rest. And I'm so happy with this. I cast it on Thursday in a week, and I finished it the week after on Wednesday, I think. Took 1 week to knit because it's stripes, Stripes are just addicting. So yeah, that's my knitting in the past. Knitting in the present, I have 3 things. I have the granny stripe blanket that I've showed a few times now, and that I will keep showing for the next 20 years. Here it is. There is a marker here in the red. That's where I showed it last time. So I got a bit done, maybe 7 centimeters or so. So this is what it looks like now. I like it. I'm very happy with it. I think it's going to be great. It is also going to be quite big. So that's the width of it, the full thing. I'm working my way through all the minis that I have received. Pulled my loop here. I'm working my way through all the minis that I received either in swaps or that I bought, and I think they might be enough to do the whole blanket. We'll see. It still lives in my piddle loop large wedge, but not for long because it's getting too small. So yeah, I am trying to do a little bit of it every day. And now I have to stand up again and rearrange my skirt. So, okay. Now, that's the granny stripe blanket. I'm using the free pattern from Attic 24 that everyone is using. My 2 knitting projects are both new. You have not seen either of them. So first off is the Lotta dress from Len magazine. That's my yarn. That's the started dress. that's the magazine. It's the cover pattern. It's issue number 5. It's the current issue, I would say. Summer 2018. And here is the dress. That's what it looks like. Goes here. I really, really like it. I fell in love with the pattern. I am using DK weight. So the pattern is for tuku wool, which is a fingering weight toothy yarn. And I decided I wanted to make this dress, but I didn't want to go out and buy yarn because I think I don't really have enough yardage wise from a fingering weight yarn other than maybe Wollmeise. And I just thought, in a solid color. And I think a non-solid wouldn't be good. A very subtle speckly yarn might look great, but nothing variegated. So I decided to use this yarn. That's from Hamburger Wollfabrik. It's a German thing. They're in Hamburg, and you can order. They have different bases, and you can order the yarn weight that you want. And I ordered this with no project in mind and decided, DK weight, don't have a lot of DK weight, let's go for DK. So I have ordered this a while ago, and what I have is 612 grams because, it's just not so easy to stop in the right moment. That's 1,530 meters, which is enough for this dress. And the base is called Avantgarde, and it is a 40 merino, 40 cashmere, 15 silk, and 5 nylon blend. It's amazing. It doesn't feel super soft, but it's not washed yet, so this is going to change. So yeah, my gigantic cone of yarn. And here's my dress so far. Now this looks very weird because I don't have the fold in, There's supposed to be a what I have a safety pin here because I pinned it together to look at it. I'm going to pin it together now so you can see what it's supposed to look like, because right now it just looks stupid. I'm very happy with it. I'm also glad that I chose a DK weight because that allows me to make a smaller size. Because, a dress takes a while. So, here we go. Now, with the added, you see? This is what it's going to look like. I still, of course, have to do ribbing around the neckline, but this is going to stay open, The sleeves are separated. All the patterning is done. So now I have to knit in stockinette for a very long time. And because of the pleat in the front, that's the word. Because of the pleat, there is no increasing done for shaping because, there's a lot of fabric here. So yeah, it's just stockinette for a long time, a very long time. The problem is, because this yarn is not plied, I have to look down for every single stitch because it's so easy to poke through the single plies. So, it's not really mindless, although it's just stockinette, but I think this is going to be great. And I think it's going to look so amazing. And it's going to feel great because it's a little 40% cashmere. So yeah, that's my dress. I think it's going to be perfect. And I think it's going to take a long time for me to finish because, like I said, I have around, I'm going to say 7 to 8 centimeters of stockinette now. And I need to go to like 58 or something like that. It's a lot. But yeah, I'm knitting it on Dyack Crafts needles to make things so much better. And it's a 4.5 millimeter needle. Like I said, DK weight, knitting a smaller size than I needed. But I think this is going to be perfect. So yes, my Lotta dress on the needles. Very beautiful. Very excited. I think it's going to be great. So you have to go somewhere. Good. Now the other thing. I must be crazy. So I started this sweater for my husband. It's this one here. It's The Dude by Andrea Rangel. It's the sweater that Jeff Bridges wears in The Big Lebowski. And yeah, I started it. My husband was away for the weekend for, you know, his medieval drum corps stuff. So I started the sweater. This is 3 nights worth of work. It looks like a lot, but it's bulky weight yarn on very big needles. So I use Fisher Wallace Sporty, which is a 50% wool and 60% polyacryl polyamide blend, because this is going to be worn a ton and I want it to be easily cared for. So I'm using this one here, and whew, so let's show you. I think this is the 4th skein already for the main color. I started with the armhole shaping. This is the back. So this is it. This is what it looks like. It is entirely knit in 1x1 rib. Really? 1x1 rib for a whole sweater for a gigantic person? So yeah, this is it. That's what it looks like so far. So this is a free pattern, by the way, so I can tell you everything I want. What she has you do is knit the original yarn is Cascade Eco Wool. And I didn't get that for 2 reasons. First of all, it's quite expensive. 3 reasons actually. It's quite expensive, it's non-machine washable, and the person who hits Cascade yarn, I'm not sure if it's the owner or the owner's mother-in-law or mother or whatever, is not a nice person. So if you want to look into that a little bit, check it out. Definitely not a company I want to support. So Cascade Eco Wool was out of the equation for me. So I went looking for a substitute and I found this yarn, which is produced very locally to me. I grew up like 7 kilometers away from this manufacturer of yarn. They are a gigantic yarn shop with their own line, and like I said, I grew up next to it. So I decided on this yarn because it's machine washable and it's also bulky weight. Now, she has you knit the hem on a 4mm needle. I used a 5. You can see the break here. There's a line here. That's where you switch from your hem needle to the actual needle. So I used a 5mm needle because I'm such a tight knitter. I'm knitting the largest size, by the way. That's a 2X. And then the body is knit on 6mm and the color work is knit on 7mm needles. She has you knit the color work on 8mm needles, but that was just a bit too much for me. So I decided to go with 5, 6, and 7mm needles, and that's a US 8, a US 10, and a 7mm, because US people don't have 7mm needles. The problem is the colors. I think the colors are pretty close to the original. This one here is maybe a bit too golden and not sandy enough, but yeah, who cares? There are very long floats in this pattern. The problem is the yarn is so dark, and the 1x1 rib, whenever I tried to catch it in the back to make it not be such a long stretch, it did show horribly on the front. So these floats are not caught at all. Oh, and also it's knit flat. So you knit color work flat over 1x1 rib. This is my first colorwork sweater, by the way. I must be crazy. Why on earth did I decide to knit this? So this is the back. I think it's not too bad. I think it could be worse. Like I said, floats are very long in here, but can you see? I think it's not too bad. My method for color work for this one here is pretty easy. I knit continental and I just drop one color and pick up the other and knit continental again, because it's not enough color work for me to bother with a two-handed color work. And also, you know, the stretches are quite long. So if you knit over 10 or 12 stitches in one color, I can easily drop that. So yeah, this is the back so far. I started the armholes here, so I'm over halfway done with the back. I want this to be done for our anniversary, which is next month, August 14th. We have been together for 15 years and married for 10 on the same day. So I want this to be done. And I sent a picture to his best friend because he knows that I want to knit this and he thinks it's going to be amazing. So yeah, that's the dude. I can work on it again this weekend because he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone again for his drumming stuff. So I hope to finish the back and get a lot of work done on the first front. Because, you know, I'm so smart that I waited for like 6 weeks before I needed the finished object to start with it. Because, you know, it's just a gigantic sweater in 1x1 rib with color work. That's how smart I am. So yeah, it's coming along. I think it's going to be epic. And I hope to get some amazing pictures because my husband currently looks a lot like the dude. He has a gigantic beard and his hair is all over the place. So I have high hopes for good pictures. Good. Now I need a sip of coffee. Knitting in the future. I have no idea. I just feel like none of my projects is really speaking to me. The only thing I really want to work on is the dude that I can't work on because my husband's home. And the dress, I mean, I like it, but it's not mindless, although it is super mindless. You know what I mean? And the crochet blanket is just, I'm not the biggest fan of crochet, so I have no idea what to knit. I really want to start something that grabs my attention, but also I don't want to start stuff because I feel uninspired. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'll start something. Maybe I will finally get the Leiden going from the latest Pom Pom magazine. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick up a UFO. Who cares? Who knows? That's what I wanted to say. Who knows? Something's gonna go on the needles. So for spinning, it's Tour de Fleece and I have spinning. First of all, I have finished the Combo Spin Swap yarn. This is what it looks like. It is a gigantic skein. It's 212 grams, so that's 8 ounces. I ended up with 353 meters. That's 386 yards. It's a worsted weight, like I predicted last time. And it turned out really, really nice. I like it a lot. So yeah, thank you so much again to whoever sent this to me. I still have no idea. I am going to give this to my friend because it's blue and pink and she loves blue and pink. So this skein will be passed on. I'm going to share the love and I'm sure she will make something epic out of it. Probably epic seems to be the word today. That's not good. Maybe a shawl or something because I can see that being a shawl. So yeah, thank you so much for including me in the swap. And yeah, I had a lot of fun spinning it and I think it turned out great. Now, Tour de Fleece, my new stuff. All the fiber I'm spinning for Tour de Fleece is from my friend Barbara. I'm going to show you her label. This is the label for the yarn, the fiber that I'm spinning. Now come. Yes, here we go. So that's it. That's her label. So I have 7 braids that I took out to spin. And I did a small video about my Tour de Fleece plans. Go watch it. I finished 2 of the braids so far. So here's the first one. I know these are not equally filled, but that's not the point because this one braid of fiber here is going to be plied with another braid of fiber. So I'm going to ply them after each other, not together. So that's the first one that I spun up. And I think it's a superwash merino from how I drafted because I only have a label for one of these. The other ones don't have labels. So this is the first one that I spun. I spun everything on my Louet S45, which is my favorite wheel, I think, if I had to choose. And this is the second braid that I spun up, and that is a Corriedale and Super Bright Nylon blend. So my plan is for these later to be in one project. So I have a yellow, I have a red, and I have green that I still have to spin. And then I'm going to do something with stripes. So yeah, 4 bobbins finished. I want to do all the spinning first and then do the plying. And I have decided that I want to spin half a braid each day. So it's been 4 days so far. It's the 5th day today, and I have my 4 bobbins. We'll see how long that will work out, but so far it's working. So yeah, that is my spinning. Also, I really hope there is a drinking game, because every time I finish the segment I say, so yeah, I do. It annoys me a lot. I hope it doesn't annoy you. If so, well, there is no new stuff. Don't have new stuff. I know, it's weird. I mean, I bought a lot of fabric, but I don't show my new fabric very frequently, so there's no new stuff. For reading, listening, watching, I only have one thing, and that is my book. I have read a lot in my book, as you can see here. I made a lot of progress. I have now doubled what I had. I was on page 50 last time, I'm on page 103 now. So this is the book I'm reading. It's called Stitched Up, the Anti-Capitalist Book of Fashion. It's very interesting. It's horrifying. I mean, conditions in the fashion industry are far worse than I already imagined they are. I mean, when you grow up, when I grew up, I never really realized that everything that I wear had to be sewn by someone. You know, there's not a machine where you pop in a bolt of fabric and then the other end you have 25 t-shirts. So when I finally realized that, when I, grew a bit older, like 12 or so, that was kind of a whoa moment. Like, what, really? Someone has to sit down and make that for me? And now that I make most of my things myself, I have a whole new appreciation for this. So this book is, wow. I mean, it's very good. It's very interesting. It's also making me feel kind of responsible for stuff. So yeah, it's a very good book. I'm very happy that I picked it up. It still has a lot of words in it that I don't understand, but I'm pretty sure that there are words in there that the average English person wouldn't understand necessarily, because they're like, what? But I just ignore those. I get the gist of it, so it's okay. Okay, for sewing. I have a lot of sewing. Well, a bit of sewing. I finished 3 things, and I'm going to start off with this one here. Oh wait, I have to unearth the other stuff. By the way, that's the project bag for the dude sweater. It's gigantic. Okay, so sewing. First thing I have is this one here. It's a cardigan, and it's from a Buddha magazine. So that's the magazine. Buddha Style number 3, 2013. So it's an older one. And this here is the cardigan. Because if you are a seamstress, you will realize that it's not a very common thing to have a pattern for a cardigan. Just a normal cardigan. Not easy to find. So this one with the ruching on the front was the best I could find. But no, it's not ruching, it's gathers. Is there a difference between ruching and gathers? Tell me. So my version is this one here. Looks like that. I have not closed the buttons, only one of them. So yes, this is my version. there are pictures of me wearing it up on my Instagram. I do like it now that it's finished, but I kind of fucked it up a bit when I made it because it is wonky in itself, and that is my fault. It's nothing to do with the pattern. It's entirely my fault. And I think it was when I attached the button band that I kind of, botched it. It's wearable. It is wearable, so I'm going to wear it. This is what it looks like in the front. That's the back. The pattern of the fabric is very so I opted for just white, pearly, small buttons here. Here they are, buttons. I had to sew them on by hand because, there are toggle buttons. Not too happy about that because my machine can do that, but just not with these. But oh well. The buttonholes, I think, have turned out quite okay, considering that this is a stretch fabric. I think they are acceptable. Now, will you do your thing? Thank you. I think it's acceptable. It's okay. It's not perfect. The whole thing isn't perfect, but it's wearable. So, yeah, I made a cardigan. I had planned on cutting two at a, and just making two at once. And I'm very happy that I just made this one and didn't cut the other one, because although I like it, it's not really what I was looking for. So the quest for a good cardigan pattern continues. That was the first thing. Next thing, I made a Hollyburn skirt because I wanted to sew, but I was too lazy to trace a pattern and cut stuff out. And I still have 3 Hollyburn skirts cut that I have to sew. Now I have 3. I had 4. And I just grabbed one of them and made them up because I don't need to look at the pattern anymore. I mean, this is my 6th or 7th. I don't know. I think it's number 7, but I can only find 6. So I've made a lot of these and they're so easy to make that I just don't have to look at the pattern anymore, which is also why I can't find the pattern. I misplaced it. No idea where it is. I have my traced pattern pieces, which is good because that's the stuff that I need. And I know how to sew it up, so I don't really need it, but yeah, no idea where it went. And this one is just so pretty. I'm really happy with this. The pattern is, like I said, super easy. It's by Sewaholic. It's worth every penny. I have made several of these, 3 more cut, and I have like 3 or 4 more fabrics ready to go. So I'm probably going to do a Hollyburn skirt video on one day because I have so many of these. So yeah, here it is, my finished Hollyburn skirt. The fabric is very thin and it is embroidered. So these roses and thing, that's all embroidered. Let's show you here. Embroidered, and it's so pretty. It feels great because it's very soft and flowy. So yes, it's gorgeous. I did my invisible zip that didn't go in super invisible, but I don't care. And I always do a bias binding for the bottom hem for these because it's the easiest and fastest way to do it. And I like it. I just like the look of this. When it shows a little bit, I don't care. The skirt I'm wearing right now has bias binding on the inside as well. So Hollyburn skirt. And then I decided, okay, you've made something, now trace a pattern and start. I got this magazine out, which is Nähtrends, issue number 2, 2018. This is my favorite sewing magazine. It's a German translation from the Spanish magazine Patrones, and it's amazing. So this one here, and I decided to go for a knotted blouse because that is really in right now. So this is the blouse. Can you see how big and loose it is on her? This must be like 4 sizes too big because mine is the size that I have, and it is not that loose. It's not super skin tight, but it's not loose. So this is it. That's what it looks like. Here's the line drawing for it. And I have decided that I just want to use fabric that I have. I didn't use a super flowy fabric because I just felt like that would not be what I want. In hindsight, the fabric that I did choose in the end is a bit too stiff. So the tie just pokes out, but I don't mind. So here it is. This is my tie blouse. For this one, I was super lazy. So German sewing patterns, all of German sewing patterns, do not have seam allowances included. So you have to add them on. What I did for this one, I just traced it 2 sizes bigger and pretended like that was my seam allowances included and just cut around the pieces. Worked. It worked. So here it is. It's the fabric is from Spoonflower. It's Sherlock fabric with quotes and, you know, the profiles of the main characters. That's the back. It is a very easy construction. The back is 1 piece cut on the fold. Then you have 2 front pieces with these extended nupsies. Those have a facing. It's a facing that goes all the way up here and is worked into the lapel. And there's a facing for the back that kind of looks a bit weird when it's like this, but it doesn't look weird when it's worn. So that's okay. I was able to squeeze this out of 2 meters of this fabric that I had. And I have enough left from 1 or 2 project bags. The pattern calls for, I think, 2 meters and 2 meters 20 of a wider fabric. So Spoonflower fabric is 1.10 meters wide. They call for 2 meters 20 of a 140 wide fabric. So I was quite happy that I was able to squeeze it out because this is a directional print, as you can see, and I couldn't change directions. The only thing that's upside down is the under bit of the collar that you can't see. So I am really happy. The buttons were in my stash. Now, can I show the buttons? Here they are. There's one. So yeah, I'm kind of happy. Kind of happy with it. It is, like I said, a bit stiff. I think it will look amazing with the Hollyburn skirt that I'm wearing right now. With a jeans, I wore it with a pair of jeans that is a bit higher rise. It does show some skin on my belly, and I'm not really into that look anymore, you know, because I'm not as small as I want to be, and I'm not as small as I used to be. So that's not a look I'm going to go for. So I think when I wear it with the Hollyburn skirt that it will be just close. Everything will be tucked where it should be. And yeah, I was super lazy with finishing. I just overlocked all the pieces and turned it up and tacked it down. You know, there's no turn and turn. But this way I was able to kind of make it work with the extension. And it is a nice and neat finish, you know. It is finished because it's overlocked, nothing can unravel. So yeah, that's my blouse. Very happy with it. And like I said, I'm going to try it on with the Hollyburn skirt that I'm wearing right now, which is the dark gray corduroy one, because I think that that will look good. And then pair it maybe with red shoes or something. So what's next? Oh yeah, my whips. I have started, last time I showed you some underpants that I made. And I have decided to make some more because I'm wearing them right now and they are really comfortable. And no, I will not show you. So I made another one of the Acacia by Megan Nielsen. And then I made 3 out of this book. And they are not finished yet. I still have to attach the elastic. And they look gigantic without the elastic on. So my butt is hopefully not that big. But probably it is. So first things first. This is the Acacia. That's the Acacia pattern. And I had enough left of this fabric to do the whole thing in one fabric. And I love it. I think it's super cute. So Acacia, no elastic, as you can see. And then I went to my book, this book. It is by Katrin Rechtenwald. It's a German book. And I made 3 different underpants out of here. And I did rise them up all. I rised them all up by 5 centimeters, I think, because they are so tiny when you look at them. Now, where is it? Okay. I made this panty back here that you can't really see. It's a hipster. That's what I talked about when I said I wanted to have a hipster pattern. So that's the first one, or it's actually the last one that I made, but it's the first one in the book, so I'm going to show that first. So this is it. No elastic. And it is another pattern with 2 big pieces and the crotch gusset. So I have 2 different patterns now for bigger pieces, a slip and a hipster panty thing. And then I have 2 that are pieced together. So the first one is the Annabelle. It looks like this. And mine is this one. That's the one. And this one is a weird combination of fabrics, I know. But that's what it's supposed to be, you know. Use up my leftovers. So this is the Annabelle pattern. And the other one is the Matilda that I already showed last week. And that is just a bit bigger on the sides than the Annabelle was. So that's the Matilda. Like I said, I did make them higher by 5 centimeters, all of these. So that's the other one. So now I have 4 patterns that I can go to. I have 2 with big pieces and 2 with smaller bits. And I'm just very happy. I am wearing the Acacia right now, and it feels great. It's you know, there's nothing wrong or weird with making underpants because you have fabric. You have leftover fabric. You know, I'm not going to go out and buy fabric to make underpants. I'm using leftovers. That's why they are a bit weird. But who cares, really? No one. I don't. And if you ever happen to look under my skirt and you don't like what you see, it's your problem, not mine. So, next up. I have 2 things to talk about for everything else because I'm already at the end of the podcast. So, first up, I have had a shop update last week. And I put up all the project bags that I have made in the last few months, and I have 3 left. So I'm going to show you the 3 that are still available. That's the first one. These I called these Greek tiles, and as you can see, these are very big project bags. You can easily fit a 4 skein project in here. So they look like this. This is applique on. The back is just like that. The label is on the back. Zipper and the usual lining fabric. So that's the first one. Greek tiles in green. Then Greek tiles in yellow. I love this one. If no one buys it, I'm going to keep it. So Greek tiles in yellow and the green Greek tiles in brown. I really like these. I like the format of these as well. I'm a big fan of that. So if you want any of these, they're in my shop. Check it out. And now I got a gift and I have to show it to you because I'm so happy. I have the best friends on the planet. So my friend Ushi showed a unicorn in our WhatsApp group. And said, oh, look what I made for my daughter. And I said, oh, I want one. And she just said, yeah, no, here's the pattern, link, go buy the pattern and do it yourself. And I said, okay, fine. And then I forgot about it. And then we went out for breakfast this last week. A bunch of my knit group girls. And she gave me a unicorn. Look at it. Oh my God. It is so cute. It's my unicorn. Tim is forbidden to touch it. So that this is just my unicorn. The pattern is called Unini. It's by Anna. Dunkelgrün, I think. I have no idea. Dunkelbunt. I do not know. It's called Unini. You can go check it out. It's a paid for pattern on Ravelry. And it is gorgeous and it's sparkly. See, it goes so well with me because I sparkle, it sparkles, it's perfect. So yeah, I'm just so happy with this. And it has a rainbow mane and a rainbow tail. And it sparkles. I bought some shelves, especially to put this on my wall in my room upstairs. The reading room where I usually sit and knit in the evenings. So this is on the wall, high up, so my son can't touch it. And it's my unicorn. My unicorn. I'm so happy. This makes me so happy. Because I'm weird like that. I totally am. Good. So this is my new unicorn. Thank you again. I love it. And then I wanted to talk about something. Last time in the end, I talked about how I didn't feel very well at the moment. And I got a lot of positive response. And that just shows me that there is too much. Everything's fine on the internet. And especially on in podcasts, I feel like. And I'm very happy that it is okay for me to say, you know what, I'm not fine. I feel like shit. And that people are just like, yeah, finally someone who says something about it. You know, it's not everything is just fine all the time. Reading all of your comments that I received made me feel so much better. So, you know, it was good for you to hear that there are real people out there, and it was very good for me to hear that it is appreciated for me to talk about it. And I have to say, I feel so much better this week. I'm not quite sure why, to be honest, but I feel a lot better. The only thing that's still bothering me is what I touched upon when I talked about my blouse, is my body right now. But the problem with that is, you know, I kind of wish I had my body back from like 12 or 13 years ago, and that's just not going to happen. It's unrealistic and kind of stupid because I'm touching up on my 15-year anniversary with my husband. That's in a month. And when I started dating my husband, I had 20 kilos less than I have now. That's 45 pounds for you pound people out there. 45 pounds. And I'm not even sure where they are. I mean, it's not that I'm gigantic, but 45 pounds is a lot. And I don't want to lose that much weight at all. But like 5 kilos would be nice, you know, if it happens. The problem with that is that I'm way too lazy to do any exercising. So, you know, I either have to learn to just accept me the way I am, or start doing stuff. I'm not sure which is the easier one for me. It's going to happen either way. Yeah, like I said, that's the only thing that really bothers me right now. But also it's just, it's kind of stupid because it's bothering no one except for me, you know? Nobody ever cares. My husband's like, oh God, just shut up already. I love you the way you are, which is good. He should, because I'm adorable and and very weird. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's where I am right now. I feel a lot better. And yeah, I'm just trying to not focus on bad stuff, but focus on the good. And I'm getting there. It's a journey. I'm getting there. Okay, I'm going to stop now because this is getting long. I'm not, let's be realistic here. I'm going to talk to you again in 2 weeks. I hope you all have a wonderful time. And yeah, I think that's it. Enjoy everything you do until we talk again. Bye. Oh, I should push the button, shouldn't I? Okay.